There's a specific weight to a certified letter that hits you before you even rip it open, like somehow you just know it's bad news. I was standing out on my driveway, asphalt shimmering so much it looked like my own personal mirage, thinking I'd just pop home for a half-day fix, a leaky faucet, and feel like a responsible grown-up for once. But no life had other plans. Instead of a wrench, I was holding an envelope stamped Oak Creek Estates Homeowners Association. And let me tell you, that envelope felt like it weighed 5 pounds, and every ounce was pure headache. My house sat behind me, perfectly ordinary, with 2 stories of freshly painted sand dune exterior. Sherwin-Williams's idea of flavorless beige, and not a damn thing wrong with it except apparently a severe case of vibrational lethargy. I'd painted it myself, sweating out 2 weeks of vacation, and I was proud of how clean it looked. But according to the HOA, clean wasn't good enough. I tore the letter open, and there it was. Dear Mr. Henderson, the Architectural Control Committee has deemed your property's paint color aesthetically lethargic and spiritually draining. I blinked at the words vibrational integrity, visual void. Was I living in a house or running a cult? They even attached a daily fine, $500 a day, if I didn't repaint it to be more vibrant and light, reflecting within 30 days. I just dropped $3,000 on this paint job less than a year ago. Now my house was being accused of causing neighborhood depression. And the whole thing, it wasn't even signed with a real pen, just some soulless postage meter. Of course, right then. Like she'd been waiting for the mail truck. Here comes Mrs. Patricia Gable, president of the HOA Architectural Enforcer Vibe Police and wearer of flowy floral caftans that cost more than my car. See, you got the notice, Mark, she sang, standing just on the edge of my grass. Wouldn't want to trespass after all. We're trying to elevate the neighborhood's energy. Property values are stagnant. I muttered something about the economy. It's not the economy, Mark, it's your house, she sniffed. It absorbs light. It's a black hole of beige. Our feng shui consultant got a migraine just standing near your mailbox. I had to bite my lip not to laugh. You want me to repaint because someone got a headache? No, Mark, she said, because you're violating Article 4. We want reflection. We want brilliance. She twirled and flounced off, leaving me boiling in the sun, and not just from the heat. I stormed inside, straight to my office, and dug out that massive binder every homeowner gets at closing the CC&Rs, the HOA Bible. It was vague as hell. Colors must be vibrant, clean, contribute to the brightness of the neighborhood. No color codes, no samples, nothing concrete, which meant this was all about control. Patricia's control. But vagueness cuts both ways, doesn't it? I looked at my desk, saw a piece of polished aluminum I used as a paperweight, a sample from work. That thing reflected everything. My brain sparked. Patricia wanted brilliance. I could give her brilliance. I'd make my house the sun itself. I called Jim Big Jim, the guy who usually built car dealerships and casinos, not houses, but owed me a favor. You want ACM mirror panels on your house? He laughed. Like, your whole house? Every square inch, Jim. Fascia soffit siding if it's wood, I want it chrome. He quoted me $50,000. That was truck money. That was emergency fund money. I looked out at Patricia's house, saw her watching smug, and knew what I had to do. Do it. Order the panels, and get the shiniest stuff you've got. When Jim rolled up on Monday, the HOA's little world trembled. His truck alone broke several unwritten codes, and as the crew measured and plotted, I saw curtains twitching everywhere. Patricia strolled over, already suspicious. Is your consultant leaning toward warm colors, Mark? She asked, giving Jim a look usually reserved for escaped zoo animals. We're going for something energetic, Jim replied, deadpan. Really captures the essence of the Arizona sky. She left unsatisfied, but none the wiser. Wednesday was D-Day. 3 vans, a flatbed with crates of aluminum, and a lull forklift beeped its way onto my driveway. Neighbors came out in force. Patricia, Mr. Henderson, no relation, the toddler wrangling couple. Everyone wanted to watch the show. The crew didn't paint. They strapped the house and mounted panels, each with a heavy gray protective film. It looked like I was building a bunker. I could see Patricia's confusion, not beige anymore, but not vibrant either. Industrial slate? I lied when she came over fishing for an argument. Very Berlin. It's very gray, she sniffed. Technically, you've complied. Spiritually, Mark, this feels heavy. I told her to give it a chance. She walked away thinking she'd won. Jim and I waited until Sunday to do the peel. It was already 100 degrees by breakfast, sun blazing. The crew gathered at the front, grabbed corners of the gray film, and at Jim's count, 3, 2, 1, pulled it off all at once. That's when the sun hit it. For a moment, nobody breathed. It was blinding, so bright you couldn't look at it straight. Patricia's house across the street lit up like it was noon in the middle of a solar flare. She stumbled out shrieking, blinded by the glare. "What did you do?" she yelled, clutching her face. "Is it vibrant enough for you?" I hollered back, sunglasses on. "It hurts," she wailed, scrambling inside as her front door slammed. But the real magic happened as the sun climbed. The second-story bay window acted like a magnifying glass, focusing all that reflected sunlight right onto Patricia's lawn. Her flamingo melted into a puddle of pink goo, her flowers crisped to dust. And by mid-afternoon, her cheap vinyl siding was warping, curling, sliding off her house in sagging sheets. The fire department arrived, sirens blaring. The captain took one look, squinting. "What is this polished aluminum composite? Non-combustible." Patricia was beside herself, screaming about death rays and arson. The captain checked the wall, 210 degrees. "He's not doing anything, ma'am. His house is just sitting there." Officer Miller, who'd busted me for a too loud table saw before, showed up. He looked at the melted yard art, the wavy siding, my shiny house. "Is that a flamingo?" he asked deadpan. "It was," I replied. "Now it's modern art." He sighed, already tired. "Look, Mark, it's a bit much. You're melting her house." I showed him the letter, the bylaws. Nothing said anything about maximum reflectivity. "Maybe she used cheap materials," I said. Jim, bless him, piped in, "She should have gone with hardy plank." Miller rolled his eyes. "Nobody's getting arrested. This is a civil nightmare. She's going to sue you." That afternoon, I blocked the focused beam with my truck so Patricia's house wouldn't finish melting, but the damage was done. As the sun set, my house glowed like a pearl, and Patricia's looked like a Salvador Dali painting. The next morning, a neon orange emergency meeting notice was taped to my door. Topic: hazardous reflective surfaces and arson by architecture. That evening, the rec center was packed. Usually it's 3 people and a sleeping Gary, the treasurer. Tonight, the whole neighborhood was there. I walked in, set up poster boards, the original letter blown up huge, the CC&R sections highlighted to high heaven, and Patricia's siding spec sheet showing its melting point was 165 degrees. Patricia tried to rally the troops. "His house is an atrocity. My siding is destroyed." I stood calm and said, "You demanded vibrancy and reflection. I delivered 100% compliant." When Patricia tried to get the HOA to pay for her repairs out of the community fund, the room turned on her. "No way," someone yelled. "Fix it yourself, Patricia." The vote went down in flames. She was desperate now. "What do you want, Mark?" she asked. I told her I'd apply a matte film, diffuse the light end, the death ray, if she signed a 99-year variance. No more aesthetic fines, no more color complaints, no liability for her melted siding. She signed so hard the pen nearly tore through the contract. Next day, Jim's crew rolled on the matte finish. My house transformed from a disco ball to a sleek satin silver cube. It still glowed, but softly, no more melting lawn ornaments. Patricia's contractors tore off her ruined siding across the street, and she watched in defeated silence. "You know," Jim said as we finished up, "with that variance, you could put a moat in." "Don't tempt me," I replied. "I think the energy here is just right." I looked at my house, no longer beige, no longer boring. It was the most vibrant, legally untouchable monument to spite in the entire county. Funny thing, I learned the hard way, that the rules are usually written for people who follow them without thinking. But when you push back, when you use their own logic with a twist of your own, you might just end up with the last laugh in a house so bright, nobody's going to forget it. But here's what I'm still wondering, where's the line? When does community pride turn into petty tyranny? Who really gets to decide what's right for a neighborhood? Tell me what you think was. I right to fight back, or did I take it too far? Drop your own stories of HOA madness or when you had to stand your ground, because honestly, sometimes justice looks like a mirror, and karma, well, karma can be blinding.